Christmas is finally here. I think we've all been waiting for this day for quite some time, and certainly as a coach and as a fan of college basketball, excited that the opening night is here. Unfortunately, we don't get to be a part of it. Our schedule didn't come together that way, so we obviously have to wait a couple days before we play our first game, and then a week before we get to play in the hump. But definitely looking forward to the season. Want to wish Coach Purcell, his staff, their players, good luck tonight. They get to open the hump, and I'm sure they're very, very excited to do that with the renovations, etc. I know they're preparing for an unbelievable season. I do have some injury updates before you ask me. Tolu Smith is still injured, and there's no update to his timeline of return. Still, what the doctors and trainers have told me, mid-January. Keyshawn Murphy has progressed. His timeline has been updated to mid-December instead of a later December return, and knock on wood, hopefully that will continue. I do have one non-injury update, and that is that Shaquille Moore will not be with us this week due to a violation of team rules.
We'll start with
I'll take questions.
We'll go with staff and go ahead and get us started.
I was curious, this is the second straight year you guys are going to be participating in the Barstool Invitational. It's kind of an untraditional, new tournament or format, whatever. What did you feel away from having a neutral court opponent on your resume? Did you guys gain from participating in that kind of event and kind of getting some publicity on the program, through that route?
Yeah, for us, it's more just the matchup and the neutral court, which will improve, the possibilities of the net game being higher than it would be if we played someone at home. So in terms of how it felt for our players or as a coach, it's like any other game. I think the experience of playing in that particular event is more so for the attendees and then, how it's broadcasted and things of that nature. But from a basketball perspective, there's no difference.
Go ahead, Paul.
We Tolu out for non-conference, and against Southern Miss, we saw you play Cam some at the 5, and obviously Guy played a little bit, and Jimmy started. Is that more of a matchup thing with who you play this year as far as trying Cam at the 5? I'm sure you'll probably face bigger teams. Is that more of a game-by-game situation to see?
Yeah, we've had enough time to tinker with it in practice, and as you mentioned, we played some minutes with him at the 5, and we're just going to have to. I mean, certainly we'd like to do it when we have a matchup that makes sense for us, but at the same time, there's two ways to look at it. If we're small like that, they got to match up with him as well, and Cam's shown the ability to rebound out of his area and play a little bit bigger, than he's built. So, it'll be a lot of trial and error as we go forward, and Guy Chol has made great strides in a short amount of time. I wish I could have played him a little bit more in the last exhibition game, but it didn't unfold like that. But he's definitely, going to be thrown into the deep end and having to help us as a true freshman.
We'll stay to coach's left and go to Jack, and then we'll go to the second round.
I know with the transfer portal, rosters can change from kind of last year and stuff, but what are some of your early impressions of what you've seen from Arizona State?
Yeah, like most teams, right? They got a lot of new players with a mix of returnees. They're known for their guard play. They're known for just how fast and downhill, especially out front, that they play. And from what we've heard and seen, I can't imagine it'll be any different this year. It starts, out front and trying to, contain those guys as best you can, and then they've always had great length, and they do again this year, especially around the rim. And they're known for their offensive plan and players, but if you get inside the numbers, their defense is what's rated higher, at least last year, in terms of effective field goal percent and defensive efficiency ratings and whatnot. And a lot of that has to do with not just their size at the rim, but even on the wings. I mean, they'll probably start 6'6" and 6'8" at the 2 and the 3, and you know, we're not even close to something like that. So that'll be different for us to play against that kind of length, and we'll have to adjust as the ball starts bouncing and we get comfortable out there. But they're a formidable team. Coach Hurley obviously is coming off an NCAA tournament appearance. He's been there, done that. It'll be a heck of an opener for both of us.
Second row middle, Justin.
A couple of questions. One being on Saturday, I don't think we saw it, or last night we didn't see Adrian Myers. Just curious where he sort of fits in the rotation right now. And then with Shaq not going to be playing, what kind of confidence did Josh, you know, give you sort of on Sunday that he can maybe take a bigger role for this opening game?
Yeah, what was the first question?
Just where you feel like Adrian Myers fits in the rotation right now.
You know, like most true freshmen across the country, he's trying to figure it out. You know, he's going from 30 to 75 in a hurry, and he's gotten better. He can really shoot the ball. He's gifted offensively. You know, we're trying to change his body and get him to be a little more athletic and get him to understand what's required on the other parts of the game with defensive rebounding and accountability and understanding the system and all that goes into getting comfortable enough to be on the court. But he definitely could help us, and you know, time will tell, you know, how the season unfolds. But in terms of Josh, you know, he doesn't have an approach of a true freshman. He's just got a personality and a presence about him that's a little bit different than most kids walking in the door, and he's got a lot of confidence. That confidence comes from not only his ability but the work ethic, what he's done to make himself the player that he is, and he's proven to us, at least thus far, we haven't played in meaningful games yet, that he's willing and able to help us move the needle and to be a part of the rotation, and what that looks like later, you know, time will tell.
We'll go back to the front row, it's Steph and Paul, and then we'll get it over.
Is Andrew back and playing on Wednesday?
Yeah, Andrew's been back with us and back with the team, and you know, we expect him to be available on Wednesday.
And how have you felt, you know, he and Jimmy have kind of come along the last few months, you know, after transferring in, and how they've kind of adjusted to their roles?
You know, Jimmy's a vet. He's been around the block a couple times, and he started 34 games in the Big 12, so he's been there, done that, and I don't think we've done anything or said anything that surprised him since he's arrived. And I love his approach. He's very businesslike. You know what you're going to get when he's on the court. And, you know, that's something with all of our guys that we're trying to get them to understand is, you know, it's not a grab bag, right? We want to know, for the most part, you know, what we're going to get when we put you in the game, and we're still trying to figure that out with a lot of our guys. But with Jimmy, we're pretty comfortable with his adjustment to our scheme and our vocabulary and how we like to play. And then with Andrew, certainly there's maybe been a bigger adjustment for him because of the levels, you know, that he's used to playing against on a daily basis. You know, he's got to figure out angles and how to defend and keep some guys that are maybe a little quicker than he is in front of him. But he certainly has an offensive repertoire that he brings with him, and that's, you know, why we brought him here, to help us on the scoring end. And he's trying to, you know, do enough on the defensive end to keep him on the floor.
Paul, go ahead.
Obviously, he missed some conditioning time with his summer injury, but where's Rams at right now as far as, obviously he played against Southern Miss, but where is he at from a percentage-wise getting back?
Yeah, again, you know me, I wish I could get inside of his body and mind and tell you how he feels, but I can't. I only can observe what I see every single day, and it's something that, you know, I'm challenging him, pushing, prodding, trying to get him to get out of his comfort zone every single day. And the obvious is trying to get him to realize that, you know, all the work and any pain that he's feeling from a cardiovascular situation is going to help him on game day. But he's still not tip top. He's still not where, you know, he or we would like him to be. But, you know, he needs game minutes too. You know, it's just different. You can condition and practice all you want, but that feeling you get when the lights are on and the popcorn's popping is different. And hopefully, you know, he'll catch up soon.
Second row.